The king of Manila's streets ain't ready to bow down, for the system of modernization was already approaching to claim the throne. Their loud horns ain't ready to shut off. Their engines ain't ready to shut down. Their shouts for their family's daily need ain't ready to stop just because of the complaints of the privileged people they sent to their destination maybe once, twice, or for countless times. The people whom they sent to their dreams are the one who's now stopping them for reaching their desired future. They are now the ones who are bringing them to the dark side of modernization.
The Filipino jeepney, a unique and iconic form of public transportation, has a rich history that dates back to the years following World War II. Locals, with their imaginative minds and resourceful hands, converted the military jeeps left over after the war from surplus American vehicles into vibrant, individually decorated public transportation units. This evolution of the jeepney, which transformed from a military artifact into a representation of Filipino culture and identity, is a testament to the inventiveness and resourcefulness of the Filipino people. Millions of Filipinos rely on the jeepney as an adaptable and reasonably priced form of transportation. Over time, it has grown to be an essential component of the nation's transportation system. Despite facing obstacles like land modernization initiatives, the so-called Hari ng Kalsada, or King of the Road, continues to be a symbol of Philippine innovation and culture. Isn't it amazing how a simple mode of transportation can hold such a significant place in a nation's history and identity?
According to the LTFRB, the planned modernization program actually started last 2017 under the governance of the former President Rodrigo Duterte. It originally had a deadline of June 23, which was extended until December 31, 2023 after the announcement of a major transport strike last March 2023. LTFRB Memorandum Circular 2023-052 states that in routes where the consolidation rate of jeepneys is already above 60%, unconsolidated jeepneys will no longer be allowed to operate after December 31, 2023. In routes where the consolidation rate of jeepneys is below 60%, unconsolidated jeepneys will be allowed to operate until January 31, 2024. In routes where there are no consolidated jeepneys, unconsolidated jeepneys will be allowed to operate until January 31, 2024. Despite of the extension of the original deadline for consolidation, the population of jeepney drivers who are not in favor of the modernization system conducted a transport strike which started last November 20, 2023. Although according to LTFRB, 70% of the jeepney drivers have consolidated and surrendered their franchise, the minority of the population was hoping for mercy, for extension of the deadline, or better yet, revision of the said modernization program.
Absolutely. It's heartbreaking to think about how jeepney drivers, often small entrepreneurs, will bear the brunt of modernization. The cost of transitioning to new, often unaffordable electric or Euro 4-compliant vehicles threatens their livelihoods. Right? This does not only jeopardize the driver's financial stability but also disrupts the local economy as the industry support a vast network of suppliers and mechanics. Although the government is proposing financial aids for the drivers and operators, without the official paper or order about it, it is not something the jeepney drivers can hold on to. It's not an assurance that they will not be hungry, that they can send these children to a brighter future just like how they send students and employees on the spot. Where are they now? It is not an assurance that when the time passes by, they can rule the roads again. Can we all agree? All know that traditional jeepney are more than just vehicles. They represent a piece of living history. The vibrant art and personalized design on each jeepney tells a story of Filipino creativity and identity. Can you imagine how modernization risks erasing cultural tapestry, replacing it with standardized, mass-produced vehicles that lack the soul of individuality on traditional jeepneys? The traditional jeepneys have been a lifeline for budget-conscious students and employees. The more affordable fare feels like a sigh of relief. It is not just a mode of transport, it is a financial ally for those trying to make ends meet. The potential pace-out feels like a taking away not just a ride, but a small victory in the daily battle of managing expenses. It's like removing a helping hand for those who rely on these traditional jeepneys to save a little extra for their dreams and daily needs.
Imagine walking a mile in their shoes, facing daily struggles they endure, tuning to the stories their horns tell. Feeling the heartbeat of the engines that foil their fight for their traditional jeepney units. It's make you wonder, is the shiny promise of modernization really worth the price of hungry stomach? Is the allure of progress worth the risk of plunging a family into poverty? Does the bright ray of modernization cast a shadow so dark that it snuff out our livelihoods? These are the questions we need to ask, the conversation we need to have before you rush headlong in the future.
The tigil-pasada strike isn't just a protest. It's a loud and clear message, a heartfelt plea from the drivers for recognition and the rightful place in the modernization dialogue. It's about giving them a voice, a say in the decisions that directly affect their lives. Offering financial assistance for the transition, that's not just about money, it's about showing them that they valued, that their livelihoods matter. And fostering a collaborative approach, that's the secret sauce. It's about working together hand in hand to make the transition smoother. But it's more than just easing the transition. It's about creating a modernization strategy that's not just technologically advanced, but also socially responsible and inclusive. It's about making sure that no one is left behind in the march towards progress.
The policy brief, passionately championed by the Public Transport Group, paints a stark picture. It argues that the structured loan programs offered by the Development Bank of the Philippines and the Land Bank of the Philippines, while well-intentioned, just don't cut it given the harsh economic realities faced by the jeepney drivers and operators. These hardworking individuals face a mountain of challenges in accessing these loan programs, with the consolidated franchise acting as formidable gatekeeper.
Picture this for a modern jeepney that comes with a hefty price tag of 2.5 million. A driver would need to pull in a daily income of 6,899 just to break even. To cover the acquisition cost, fares could skyrocket to as high as 34 pesos for a modern jeepney carrying 200 passengers a day. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the reality we're facing.
The only permanent thing in this world is change. After all, further, any change to an existing system, whether it be in education, administration of justice, industry, and so on, must be done with enough lead time to allow the stakeholders to adjust to the transition. It would be immoral and extremely unjust to expect people to keep abreast of the latest trends and technology without support from the government. iBound Foundation Executive Director Sunny Africa said the main concern is not time, but resources.
The tigil-pasada transport strike is not a fight against the government or the modernization and development of Taiwan. It is a way of the minority of the population of ordinary Filipino citizens to voice out their concern for a revision of the memorandum circular that focuses on the modernization for the preservation of our culture and identity as a Filipino, for a more affordable fare for student and working individuals, for a stable job for the public transportation drivers, and lastly, a fight to ensure that even the minority of the Filipinos will not have an empty dinner table while the government is working for modernization and improvement.
Try to face their daily struggles. Try to listen what their horns says. Try to listen to the engines that keep them from fighting for their traditional jeepney units. Is modernization really worth the hungry stomachs? Is modernization worthy of the poverty that a family could face? Does a ray of modernization cost a livelihood?